Structural heart disease refers to a defect in the heart's valves, walls, or chambers that keeps the heart from pumping blood properly. Valve or structural heart problems may be present at birth or develop over time. Your risk increases if you have high blood pressure, plaque buildup, history of heart attack, take certain medications, or have certain heart infections. The Structural Heart Program at CIS and Terrebonne General provides innovative solutions and devices with the latest technology to bring the best possible outcomes for patients. Learn more at cardio.com.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. PJ Life, man, it's not just about a rap song, right? It's private jet life. It's a real thing when a Super Bowl comes to town, and New Orleans had a bunch of people fly in for the event, and Houma, with the airport, more specifically, was the beneficiary of a lot of people coming through the area. So here to talk more about it's Heather Boudreaux. She's the airport deputy. Airport director, thanks. And Carl Beatty is the chief of police out there. So, guys, thanks so much for being with us. Y'all had a busy week, right? Y'all had a lot of people flying in and out.
It was incredible.
Cool thing. I know people that like to track tail numbers or whatever. Knew a lot of people came in here, but tell me about the last couple of days. How many people came in? What are more interesting stories y'all saw?
Well, I can tell you that our operations ranged from about 135 to 314 per day, which was a pretty big, significant amount. We did have 183 planes that were serviced by our FBO Apex, of which we had about 72 that remained on the airport throughout the entire time. Back in 2013, we had 21. So that's a significant increase. This event brought in several celebrities, important names such as Lady Gaga, Russell Wilson, Jason Allen, Rick Ross, Steven Seagal, Ciara, Emma Rogers, the governor of Pennsylvania,
and the owners of the Eagles, right?
And the owners of the Phillies and the Eagles. So it was pretty impressive. We didn't get to meet any of them, but it was still amazing knowing that they flew into Houma and we get credit for it. So
yeah,
it was
no
great.
doubt. We're looking at some cool video, and this is from Apex. And you say Apex is kind of does y'all organize and where these planes go? And
yes, they're our fixed-based operator, and so they had their staging area was through them to make it easier for all of the pilots. They would just come in, load off on the ramp, and then Apex and their crew would just take care of moving the plane and fueling it and doing all those things. So it was not encumbersome on the pilot.
That's cool. Carl, what does it do for your job? And look, celebrities sometimes fly with things that we don't get away with on general aviation. You don't go check the plane out.
No, we don't do any of that. The one benefit it did have for the airport, though, is we are, to my knowledge, the only general aviation airport that has its own police department in the state. In the recent past, there's been a lot of activists that are going out and painting planes, doing different things because they don't agree with whatever's going on with these planes flying privately. I think it helps the business for aviation in Houma that now they not only can come to a place that's not as congested, but they also, their equipment's protected. We had round-the-clock coverage with our officers checking out, and then the sheriff and chief of police were real helpful with providing people to, patrol the exterior of the airport for us as well.
Yeah, that's so cool that people come in and they can feel secure enough to come in. And when you talk about the Phillies, so y'all had a hospitality event, I guess, for some of the Philly people that came in, that get them some biscuits and stuff?
Well, so our FBO actually had catering at their facility, so they were able to feed them, and they have a what you call it, like a pilot lounge
like there's pictures of some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, so they took very good care of them.
They had also set up a big screen TV for all the pilots and people that were staying behind that didn't go to the game, but they were able to watch the game at the facility.
Yeah, so look, I've heard a lot of people, and that they talked about just the experience in New Orleans. I think New Orleans was the star of the show, right?
Right.
If y'all watch it on TV, it was spectacular. The weather was great. Bourbon Street looked great. The game was awesome, and it wasn't awesome. The game or halftime, whatever.
Yeah.
It was awesome for some.
But I do think, I just think New Orleans really showed out, and I think we are part of that, right? And giving the hospitality before anybody even arrives in New Orleans, that they figure it out. Heather, something you told me, the general aviation airports, the busiest in the world, or at least
One
the
of.
state. And
Yeah, one of.
I didn't know that. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we have close to 80,000 operations a year. We were above that before COVID and hurricanes hit, so we're gradually getting back up there. A lot of that is contributed to our helicopter operations. We have about 750,000 passengers for our helicopter operators in 1 year.
A year. That's
in 1
incredible.
year, yes. So it's we've grown a lot. It's
growing, right? And we may have, drone stuff later
Correct.
down the road, right?
Correct.
So, that's a big part of it. So, so let's talk a little bit about private jet life, right? And it's a little different for people, right? So I know the stars, they don't have to deal with airports and TMZ waiting for them to get down. So this is a big industry that Houma can take advantage of, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and that was one of the things. It was a big injection of business for Houma. A lot of the pilots stayed behind, so these guys don't get to go to the games. They stayed, they ate in our restaurants, they stayed at our hotels, and it was a good boost for Houma economically.
Yeah, and I think, we'll get some business from that, right, down the road?
I
Right.
believe so.
Yeah, for sure. So what do we do next? You said you're extending the runway a little bit?
Eventually, that's the plan. We're going to extend it. So far, we have a 6,500-foot runway. We're going to extend to 8,000 feet. The time frame, not certain, but we had to get the road closed in between Grand Caillou and
Right.
East Main. So that's been done. So it'll be in the next couple of years, hopefully.
And who had the coolest plane?
All of them.
I thought Russell Wilson's was probably
Yeah,
the third.
actually, it was probably, in looking at them, that was definitely one of the most
Hey, look, that's a
beautiful
competition
planes.
just like anything else in
It
life.
definitely was, yes.
And Rick Ross,
Oh,
the
yeah.
That one was pretty impressive too.
Yes.
No mistake in his plane.
Well, guys, thanks for the update, man. What a great week and way to show out for Houma. Appreciate it.
And we would like to say a huge shout out to Apex Jet Center, their owners, Juan and Crystal Romero. Thanks very much for making this a great and successful event, and to all of our staff and tower. And it was great.
I know it was busy, yeah. Well,
Yes, it
Carl,
was.
Heather, thanks so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We'll be right back with more Bayou Time right after this.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.